Understanding the prospects for industrial collaboration between China and Pakistan under China and Pakistan Economic Corridor, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Ashfaq Ahmad Bhatti, Hailey College of Commerce, University of the Punjab, Lahore.
Welcome and good afternoon, everyone. First of all, many thanks to the partner organizations to invite me, and especially my colleague, Professor Dr. Hailey, Director RIC. I'm representative of Hailey College of Commerce, and obviously we are supposed to talk about something in terms of potentials, challenges, and ultimately in terms of industrial collaborations. First of all, I wanted to look at the topic, understanding China's governance system and development model. Basically, we are required to focus on two ideas. First one, the governance system, that could be the combination of three main activities: operations, structure, and the most important, the procedure. So that enables the two entities. One is the government, that is basically elected by the people, and other is the corporate entities of the companies that are basically authority is delegated by the shareholders or the real owners. So that's why the common thing is the governance, that we need to look at the SOPs, laws, procedures, and other parameters to regulate, operate, and control these entities. So that's the basic concern. So I wanted to cover five main areas. First, the Pak-China friendship. My colleagues, couple of minutes earlier, she said in detail the entire story since inception to date, about the China and Pakistan relationship. Then we are supposed to talk about the CPEC, the specific project and its outcomes in terms of prospects. We are supposed to talk about in today's session. Then vision of CPEC, and we have three dimensions of this vision: China's side, then Pakistan side vision, and then regional and global perspective as well. Fourth one, why we need industrial collaboration, and eventually the potential benefits in terms of prospects for the different sectors, for the different segments of the society for both countries. Would you like to? Okay, this is only a brief introduction that the formal interaction between two nations, two countries, Pakistan and China, came into being in 1951 approximately, and since there is conversion, this relationship to the friendship, and eventually ended with a strategic partnership that is beneficial for the both countries, and it is basically the complementary role. Both countries can get benefits by complementing their resources, and normally we use in the morning session there is a term synergy. So synergy means 2 + 2 is equal to more than 4. That could be 22 or maybe more than that. So it depends, because I'm talking about business person's terminology. That should be more than 4 in any case. Well, please move forward. Next is, if we look at the theme of this combination, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, so its central tenet is basically some key areas, including sustainable development by modernizing the few areas, especially transportation, logistics, especially in terms of road, rail, and even air transportation. Then the countries are supposed to work on energy, both coal energy, hydro energy, and even solar energy as well. So there are many projects that came into being due to the emergence of CPEC. Then we are supposed to look at the infrastructure, construction of roads, special zones, economic zones, agriculture, as well as the special economic zones. Move forward, please. Initially, this project was started with $50 billion that was divided into two categories: $35 billion for the energy projects and $15 billion for the infrastructure projects. That is again contributed to, with the timeline. 2015 to 2020, and then 2015 to 2030. So there are different projects that are basically came under the umbrella of CPEC that are listed in the next slide, please. First, we need to look at the vision. If we look at the content of this vision, we can say on Chinese side, it's expansion. They wanted to expand their western side of China by getting some connections and outreach towards, the Middle East countries and Far East countries as well. So that's, if we look at to further advance the Western development strategy, promote economic and social development in Western China, accelerate the Belt and Road construction, and eventually it aims to create some advantages in terms of capital, technology, production, capacity and engineering projects, and ultimately it leads to formation of new economic systems. That is basically not a single economy, it is a multi-economy project, and that develops an umbrella of different countries and economies as the vision is mentioned in terms of shared future, community with shared future, that is more relevant. If we look at the Pakistani side, so there is capacity building is the essence of this vision. We are supposed to look at, we need to enhance our industrial capacity through creation of new industrial clusters, and especially we need to balance the regional development, especially in terms of socio-economic development by enhancing the individual and collective well-being of our people, and then we try to reduce the poverty and other, some sort of deficiencies in terms of capital, in terms of technology, in terms of innovation, and many more. If we move towards the global and regional vision, so that it basically aims to focus on, next slide please.
Next slide please.
That basically aims at the new international logistics network. So both countries aims to develop a unique coordinated interaction, and that aims to develop a new international logistic network by connecting different states, different countries for economic and other benefits for the mutual benefit. And its main focus is on transportation, infrastructure. It wanted to look at the enhancing the capacity and resources of the South Asian region, especially again and again the Middle East and some other, the Far East countries. Then we need to look at the human capital, that is the main focus in terms of labor, its division, its capacity building, and we term sometimes human resource development, to meet the contingencies, to meet the demands and the needs of the emerging market. Next please. So as a Pakistan, or why we need CPEC? What was the importance? What was the necessity? So first, we need to look at the different aspects. When we look at Pakistani economy, it is tagged as non-durable consumer goods economy, and we are a consumer-oriented society. Unfortunately, we are not self-sufficient in the capital goods, in the manufacturing goods that are used to create new goods. So that's why we are dependent on the China. And China is our friend, and they are supposed to help us in many industries, including iron and steel, metallurgy, heavy machinery, and other industries, that is needed by Pakistan. Today is the regime of high technology. The gadget in my hand, in our pockets, and other drone technologies, artificial intelligence, and there is massive use of high technology in the recent age. So that's why we need CPEC and like other projects, that is a necessity for the Pakistan to enter such a contracts at regional level as well as at the global level. Next please. There are a few other benefits that are listed in front of you, that we need to promote the bilateral connectivity, we need to construct infrastructure, we have to look at exploring the potential of different investment projects for the benefits of both countries, I mean the partner countries, Pakistan and China. We need to look at the economic and trade initiatives by looking at import and export of target commodities, as well as today's regime is associated with the logistics, transportation, communication projects, and eventually we need to look at the people-to-people contacts. So that's why CPEC is primarily connected with reference to 4 categories: G2G, government-to-government connections, then B2B in terms of business-to-business connections, business to consumer, consumer to business, and eventually the more important in today's term, people-to-people interaction. Because on this universe, the most important and the important factor, that is the human beings in terms of people, that requires individual well-being as well as collective well-being by mutual cooperation through, again, shared shared future for the community. If we look at the World Economic Forum, and interestingly, there is an increasing share of the China in the global GDP, and it is up to 35% over the last 10 years. And if we look at the most recent statistics that indicate with reference to year 2022, it is 18.5% that is solely contributed by the China. Next one, please. So that is only the pictorial form. You can look at a consistent increase of the Chinese contribution towards global GDP that is shown in front of you. Next one, please. When we look at the imports from China, again they are increasing with the passage of time. That is Pakistan's perspective. Next one, please. Again, there is the typical traditional cycle. There is an increase and decrease with the passage of time with reference to exports. It depends, but in the recent years, we are lucky there is a rapid change, rapid increase in the export side as well with reference to Pakistan. If we look at the FDI, foreign direct investment, again we can look at China as the top of the list. So that's why bilateral relationship between two nations, Pakistan and China, is the need of the day, and we have to look at other nations. They are leading and they are on the bottom side of the list. So that's why this CPEC as a project is more important for Pakistan as well as for China. Next one, please. There is a long list of industrial collaborations under CPEC, especially we can look at transportation, communication and logistics, then information technology, artificial intelligence, robotics and high technology. These are the main and core area of today's concern. Pharmaceutical, medical, clinical and healthcare product. And again, it is the center for concern for both nations. Technology, automobiles and construction industry, especially the automotive devices, gadgets and machines. We can look at the education, tourism and cultural exchange programs. Again, it is one of the prospective collaboration among two nations due to CPEC. Then energy, chemical, solar and infrastructure projects, again for the we need more funds, more cooperation between two nations, as well as financial sector and financial markets. Especially there is a main investment by the Chinese investor in case of Pakistan Stock Exchange and some others. Next one, please. Well, we can also look at the software side. Quickly I can flash in front of you. That is a part of socio-economic developments that is listed in front of you, tourism and other opportunities for both nations, and increase in the individual and collective well-being through multiple opportunities. Next one. Again, it is continuation for the collaboration under the umbrella of CPEC. That could be the defense and capacity building, improvement in the infrastructure, balanced environment and power in the South Asia, because we are competing with India since inception. And then opportunity for Central Asian republics to connect with the region. So that is more beneficial for the China and Pakistan as well. And lastly, regional connectivity, as we are sitting in RIC, and this is again, that is a good opportunity to sit together and talk about these opportunities. Next one, please. So just I wanted to flash few economic zones that are created under the label of CPEC, and a couple of them were discussed by my colleague in her talk, and one is that is in Nowshera, KPK. Another is, next one please, that is in Thatta, Sindh. Next there is Allama Iqbal City in Islamabad, Punjab. Next one please. And the mutual consent and the areas are listed with each special economic zone. Next one please. That is in Pishin, Balochistan. So these are 4, and they are, we are working under the umbrella of CPEC to get benefits for the both nations. Next one, please. So, these are other prospects that are listed in pictorial form, that is energy sector, plaster industry, as well as chemical industry. Next one, please. Auto sector, fertilizers, agriculture, and infrastructure. So, because due to shortage of time, simply flash these slides, please, and move forward. Energy, automobiles, infrastructure, then we have plastic industry as well, clinical and chemical as well, fertilizer, agriculture, we have many potentials. Well, the last, or the second last one, just I wanted to wind it up. Challenges. Whenever there is an opportunity, there is a threat. So we need to counter it. So first of all, we need to keep in mind CPEC and less developed parts of the Pakistan, including KPK, Balochistan, and interior Sindh as well. So sometimes they are the ignored part of, our country as well with reference to CPEC. Then there is some problems when we look at Baloch subnationalist perspective. Some interventions, militancy, and some other incidents are reported periodically. Then there is, again, we face problems since inception of CPEC, that is its route controversy in terms of eastern, western, and central routes due to many challenges, many issues, many concerns that are reported over the period of time. Then we can look at the competitors, especially the competitor seaports like Jaharbagh as well as UAE, and they are also one of the stakeholders. They may create some problems for Gwadar and other projects under the CPEC. We have to keep in mind the security concerns, and unfortunately we have to pay heavy price in terms of these projects due to 2 factors that are listed in terms of Indian factor, because they are not happy since its inception and orientation, as well as we face some problems and challenges due to American approach towards CPEC. And that's all from my side. Thank you very much for your time and patience. And again, I'm thankful to the colleagues and partner organization to invite me. Thank you. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum.